stopped reciting, because he did not like to see Monkey suffering such terrible pain. "Who taught you this trick?" Monkey asked when the pain stopped. "An old woman who I met recently." "Then it was the goddess Kuan Yin. I will go to the Southern Ocean and hit her with my cudgel." "As she taught me this spell, she can surely use it herself," said Tripitaka. Monkey sat up, holding his head, which still hurt him. "I'm very sorry," he said. "I will travel to India and never leave you. I will protect you until the end." Unable to defend himself, Monkey put the luggage together, and they started. Chapter 3. Tripitaka finds new followers. With her magic breath, she shouted, "Change!" She transformed the dragon into the horse that he had just eaten. It was the middle of winter, and a cold wind was blowing from the north. There was ice everywhere, and deep snow was lying on the ground. But the brave priest, his follower, and the white horse continued their journey across the mountains. They were looking down at a river, when suddenly a dragon appeared in it, and then climbed slowly out of the water. While Monkey and Tripitaka ran and hid, the dragon, moving along at speed and without stopping, opened its mouth and ate the horse. Monkey left Tripitaka sitting on a rock and went back to get the horse and luggage, but he could not find the horse. He took the luggage to the place where he had left Tripitaka. "The dragon is gone," said Monkey, "and the horse is too. It probably ran away because it was frightened." "How are we going to find it?" asked Tripitaka. "Wait here, and I will have a look," said Monkey. Monkey leapt into the sky and looked for it with his bright red eyes. "I cannot see it anywhere," he told Tripitaka. "I think the dragon ate it." "How can I travel if it has been eaten? It is much too far to walk," cried Tripitaka. Poor Tripitaka was so sad that he could not stop crying. Monkey, who hated that kind of attitude, shouted at Tripitaka, "You look like a fool, sitting there crying. Wait there while I go after the dragon." "You cannot do anything to the dragon if he is in the water," said the young priest, still crying, "and next time he will eat me." "You are hopeless, hopeless," shouted Monkey, angrier than ever. "Do you want to sit there staring at the luggage forever?" He was still shouting angrily when the voices of gods were heard in the sky. "Monkey, don't be angry. Priest, don't cry. We are here to protect you," they said. "Then you had better stay here and look after the master," said Monkey. "I am going to find that horse. Don't worry about me." Tripitaka, feeling better, asked Monkey to be careful. Dear Monkey. He pulled his tiger skin coat around his body, picked up his cudgel, and walked down to the river. "You demon fish! Return my horse to me!" he called into the water. The dragon leapt out of the river. "Who is making all that noise?" it shouted angrily. "Come and fight!" shouted Monkey as he waved his cudgel. "And give me back my horse!" Monkey hit the dragon's head with his cudgel. The dragon came forwards with his mouth wide open. It was a long and brave fight. They fought backwards and forwards, round and up and down, until the dragon began to feel weak. With a quick turn of his long tail, he disappeared back into the river. Monkey shouted for him to come back and fight, but the dragon did not listen. Monkey decided to go back and tell Tripitaka. When Monkey returned, Tripitaka said something that Monkey did not like. "The other day, after you fought the tiger, you said you could also kill dragons. I do not understand why you are having such difficulties with this dragon." "Not another word," he cried. "I will soon show you who is master." Annoyed, Monkey went back to the river and used his magic to make a storm. The dragon leapt up and shouted, "What sort of creature are you? Where do you come from?" "That is not your business. Just return my horse." "How can I? Your horse is inside me, and if I do not, what will you do to me?" "Look at this cudgel," said Monkey. "If you do not give me back the horse, you will pay for it with your life." Again they fought, and then the dragon transformed himself into an insect and disappeared into the long grass. Beating the grass with his cudgel, Monkey danced around wildly, trying to find him. But it was impossible. So Monkey returned to Tripitaka, who was feeling quite sorry for himself. "I will be dead from cold or hunger before we get across this river," said Tripitaka. Monkey danced and jumped and leapt in anger. But finally he had to ask the goddess Kuan Yin for help. When he saw her, he became angry again. "You told me to look after this priest," shouted Monkey. "So why did you give him a cap that I cannot take off my head? It gives me terrible pains when he says the words of the spell." The goddess laughed. "Because you are so full of tricks. There is no other way to control you." "But what about this dragon? That is your work too. Why did you let him eat my master's horse? You should be ashamed of yourself." "That dragon," said the goddess Kuan Yin, "behaved badly in heaven. If he carries the priest of the Emperor Tung on his journey to India, he will be forgiven, and he knows this. No ordinary Chinese horse could possibly do it. I cannot understand why he ate the horse. I will go with you and find out." She got down from her seat inside her cave and rode on a magic light to find the dragon. When the dragon saw Kuan Yin, he changed into a human. "Did you know that this is Tripitaka's follower?" asked Kuan Yin. "How could I? I asked him what kind of creature he was, and he shouted at me, 'That is not your business.' I ate his horse because I was hungry. He never said anything about looking for scriptures. He never once used the word tongue." "Monkey is fonder of showing others his own powers than explaining anything," said Kuan Yin. "But in future, if anyone questions him, he must say that he is looking for scriptures. Then there will be no more trouble." The goddess went to the dragon and put some drops of sweet water on him. Then, with her magic breath, she shouted, "Change!" She transformed the dragon into the horse that he had just eaten. She told the dragon to change his bad behavior and to promise never to go back to his old ways. "If you keep this promise, you will be given a golden body," she told him, "and you will be given wisdom." The dragon said, "Thank you. I will keep this promise." Then the goddess turned to go, but Monkey held her arm, saying, "That is not good enough. How can I help a priest to travel over these mountains with only a horse? I cannot continue this journey." "That is strange," said the goddess. "You always used to be brave, if nothing else. But there is one more power I can give you." She took 3 leaves from a tree and dropped them on Monkey's back, where they immediately became magic hairs. "These," she said, "will get you out of any trouble." Monkey thanked her. Then he took the horse and led him to Tripitaka. "This horse is in much better condition than the old one. How did you manage to find it?" asked Tripitaka. Monkey answered, "Kuan Yin changed the dragon into the horse that he had eaten." Tripitaka wanted to say thank you to Kuan Yin, but Monkey said that she was already far away. So Tripitaka bowed towards the south. Then he helped Monkey to prepare their luggage. "We still need a boat to cross this river," said the priest. "Just sit on the horse and he will carry you across," Monkey replied. But then an old fisherman in a strange boat appeared. Monkey waved to him. "We have come from the east to fetch scriptures. My master does not know how to get across the river. Could you take him?" The old fisherman took them all across the river without asking for payment. "Do you know who that fisherman was?" said Monkey. "He is the god of the river, and he did not help us in our fight against the dragon. He knew he had done wrong. That is why he did not take any money." Tripitaka did not know how true that story was, but he sat on the horse and followed Monkey along the road to the west. One evening they saw a group of houses in the far distance. "Let me go and see if it is a farm, and if it seems lucky or unlucky," said Monkey. A young man in a blue jacket came out of the farm and tried to walk past Monkey without a word. But Monkey held his arm tightly while the young man tried to escape. "Now, you must not be angry," laughed Monkey, holding him even tighter. "We only want to know the name of this place." The young man, seeing that he could not get away from Monkey, answered, "The place is called Cow Farm, and I am Cow Tsai. Old Mr. Cow has a daughter of 20 who is unmarried. 3 years ago, a creature took her and has lived with her here as his wife. 6 months ago, the creature locked her in his little house, and none of the family has seen her since then. I'm going to find someone with strong enough magic to fight this creature." "This is your lucky day," said Monkey. "Here I am, and I can help you. Come, lead us to the master of the house." "Your words are true, I hope," said the young man. "You will get me into great trouble if you fail." "I promise," said Monkey. "Now, take us in." Seeing the young man returning, old Mr. Cow shouted, "You fool!" But he quickly became more polite when he saw the young priest. Seeing Monkey, though, he said, "It is surely bad enough to have a dirty creature living with my daughter. Now another ugly creature has come to visit me." "You have lived a long time, but have learned very little wisdom," said Monkey. "You should not judge people only by appearances. But I shall return your daughter to you." "I do not understand. I thought you wanted a bed for the night." "Yes, we do," said Monkey. "But I am also happy to kill any dirty creatures for you, for something to do." "We have 3 daughters. Our hope was that the youngest would marry a farmer and work this farm. Well, about 3 years ago, a nice-looking young man came here and said his name was Pig. He seemed the right man for our daughter, and at first he worked hard on the farm. But then he started to change. His nose became longer. His ears became bigger. He ate more and more. Finally, he turned into a pig. But that was not all. He could bring magic winds. He could disappear and then appear again. He could make stones fly through the air. And now he keeps our daughter Blue Flower in his little house, and for 6 months we have not known if she is alive or dead." "Have no fear," said Monkey. "I shall catch him tonight and return your daughter to you. But Do you need weapons? I have my weapon already, said Monkey, taking his needle from behind his ear and changing it into an iron cudgel. I need only a nice old person to sit with my master and talk to him. Now I will leave you. Old Mr. Cow led Monkey to the little house, and Monkey broke the door with one blow of his hand. Inside it was dark as the old man called, "Number 3, daughter?" "Father, I am here." Monkey looked hard with his red eyes and saw a sad sight. The daughter's face was unwashed, her hair was full of dirt, and her lips were pale. She walked slowly forwards and fell crying into her father's arms. "Don't make that noise. But where is the creature?" asked Monkey. "I do not know," said the unhappy girl. "He goes out early in the morning and does not come back until late at night." "Take your daughter back to the house and stay with her," said Monkey to Mr. Cow. "I shall wait here and end your troubles." When the girl and her father had gone, Monkey transformed himself into a girl who looked like Blue Flower. Then he waited. Soon stones came flying through the air, and there in front of him stood a terrible creature. He had short hairs on his dark skin, a long nose, and enormous ears. He wore a green jacket and had a spotted handkerchief tied round his head. Dear Monkey. He did not say hello to the creature. He lay on the bed, making noises like a person who is ill. When the creature tried to kiss him, he pushed it hard across the room. "Why are you angry with me?" asked the creature. "I'm not angry. Get into bed." The creature undressed in the dark, but could not find his wife in the bed. Then he heard her crying on the far side of the room. "Oh, I'm so unhappy." "What are you complaining about?" asked the creature. "Have I not kept my promises to you? I have worked on the farm, built walls, and dug new fields. You have all the food and clothes that you need." "That is not the problem," said Monkey in Blue Flower's voice. "Today my parents came and shouted through the wall that you are ugly, and nobody knows anything about you or who you are." "There is no mystery about who I am. Because I look a little like a pig, I am called Pigsy. Next time they ask, just tell them that." "They're looking for a priest to send you away," said Monkey. "In fact, old Mr. Cow has called the great Monkey King himself to help." "If that is true, I am leaving this minute," cried the creature. "That monkey is very powerful." And getting dressed quickly, he opened the door to leave. With a magic spell, Monkey transformed himself back again. "Look around," he cried, "and you will see that I am Monkey." When Pigsy turned and saw Monkey with his sharp little teeth and big smile, his red eyes, flat head, and hairy face, he ran like the wind back to his cave. Monkey cried after him, "Where are you going? If you go up to heaven, I will follow you, and if you go down to the deepest part of hell, I will follow you there too." Monkey followed the creature to his cave, and it came out waving a fork. They fought together all night, but at last the creature leapt back into the cave and locked the door. Monkey now saw the name of the cave on a rock. It was Cloud Ladder Cave. I had better return to my master now, because he might want something, Monkey thought. I can always return and catch this creature. And leaping from one cloud to another, he was soon back at the farm. No one had slept all night, waiting for Monkey's return. Tripitaka was sitting with the old man when Monkey arrived. "Master, here I am," he said. "Did you have to go a long way to catch the creature?" asked Tripitaka. "That is no ordinary creature. He used to live in heaven when he was in charge of water spirits. But he did wrong, and he was sent down to earth as a pig-like creature. He still has all his magic powers. I chased him to his mountain cave, where he fetched a large fork, and we fought all night. As the sun came up, he gave up the fight and locked himself in his cave. I was going to beat down the door, but I knew it was going to take some time. I thought Master might be getting anxious, so I wanted to report back here." "Monkey King," said old Mr. Cow, "you have driven him away, but he is certain to come back. If you can get him for us, you can have half of all that is ours." "I think you worry too much about him. He knows that he eats a lot, but he has also done a lot of work around here. He feels that his work easily pays for the cost of feeding him. He is a god who has been sent to earth as a punishment. It seems that he has done no harm to your daughter," said Monkey. "It is true," said old Mr. Cow, "that he has done her no harm, but it is very bad for our family name. Everywhere I go, I hear Mr. Cow has taken a dirty creature for his daughter's husband. What can I say to that?" "Monkey," said Tripitaka, "do you not think that you should return? Have one more fight with him, and see if you can find a way to end this difficult situation." "Don't worry. I was only having a little game with him. This time I will catch him and bring him back here. Look after my master until I get back," Monkey said to Mr. Cow. Monkey disappeared into the clouds and soon arrived at the cave. This time Pigsy was asleep in his cave when Monkey broke the door in pieces. Angrily, Pigsy jumped out of bed and took up his fork again. "You dirty rat! What do you think you are doing? It is a crime to break down someone else's door," shouted Pigsy. "I remember you now," he said, looking more closely at Monkey. "You once lived in a cave behind a water curtain. How did you get here?" "I'm a priest now. I'm going with a Chinese pilgrim called Tripitaka to fetch scriptures from India." The fork fell from Pigsy's hand. "Where is the pilgrim?" he said. "Take me to him." "Why do you want to see him?" asked Monkey. "The goddess Kuan Yin put me here to prepare myself for the arrival of a pilgrim who I must follow. After doing this, I will receive wisdom. I have been waiting for this pilgrim for years. Why did you not tell me that you are his follower? Why did you prefer to fight with me?" "I'm not so sure that your story is true. If you really want to follow my master to India, you must promise that this story is true. Then I will take you to him." Pigsy threw himself down on his knees and bowed repeatedly. "I promise, Holy Buddha, this is true, every word. If it is not true, let the judges in heaven cut me into 10,000 pieces." "I believe you," said Monkey, "but give me your fork." Then Monkey took a hair, blew on it with his magic breath, and changed it into a long, thick string. He tied Pigsy's hands behind his back, took him by the ear, and pulled him along with him. When Monkey arrived at Mr. Cow's farm with Pigsy, everyone was very happy. After hearing Pigsy's story, Tripitaka told Monkey to untie him. Tripitaka said some prayers, and then they sat down and ate supper together. The next day, Tripitaka sat on the white horse that had been a dragon. Pigsy carried the luggage, and Monkey carried his cudgel as they all left for the west. At last they came to a flat country. Summer had passed and autumn had come, and now in front of them was a great wild river. Monkey leapt into the air and looked far down into the water. "Master," he reported, "this will not be easy. For me it will not be difficult, because I can jump across in one leap. But for you it will be impossible. When I looked down, I saw that this river is 12,000 kilometres across." Tripitaka was very unhappy, but looking down, he saw a rock with some writing which said, "River of Sands." Under that in small letters were the words, "In the river of sands, 12,000 wide, in dead waters, 15,000 deep, nothing will stay on the water. Even the lightest flower goes straight to the bottom." As they looked, a terrible creature came towards them through the water. His eyes were like bright lights, and around his neck were 9 heads. He rushed straight at the pilgrims. Monkey pushed Tripitaka to a safe place, while Pigsy attacked the creature with his fork. The creature fought hard, and the fight was a good one. Monkey was impatient to join in, and at last, with a wild scream, he leapt at the creature. As he brought his cudgel down on its head, it disappeared into the water. Pigsy was very angry. "Brother, who asked you to fight my fight? That creature was just getting tired, and I had almost finished him. You have spoilt everything." "I am sorry," laughed Monkey, "but I could not stand and watch. I've not used my cudgel for months, and I got so excited that I could not stop myself. I wanted to join the fun." So, hand in hand, they returned to Tripitaka. "It will be your turn next time," promised Pigsy. "Thank you, but I am really not at my best in water," said Monkey. "I'm happier in the clouds, and I have enough tricks on land. If you can make this creature leave the river, I will come and help you." Pigsy went into the river and discovered that he had not lost his water magic. He soon found the creature at the bottom of the river. "You ugly pig!" the creature shouted. "Can you not see that I am not an ordinary creature? I am a god. One day, at a banquet in heaven, I accidentally broke the Jade Emperor's bowl. He was very angry, and I was sent down here to the River of Sands. When I am hungry, as I am now, I eat people. You would taste very good if I cut you up and put some sugar and salt on you." "You will not eat me. You can eat my fork." So again they started fighting, and they fought for 2 hours. After that, Pigsy pretended to be tired and ready to stop. When he left the water and climbed onto the land, the creature followed. "Come on," cried Pigsy. "With the hard earth under our feet, we will have a better fight than we did before." "I know what you are trying to do," said the creature. "You're trying to get me out of the river so your friend can help you. We will go back in the water and finish the fight there." The creature refused to move, so they fought on the water's edge. Monkey was watching from a distance. "Wait here," he said to Tripitaka, "while I try one of my tricks." Monkey leapt into the air and jumped straight down at the creature. But the creature saw him coming and ran back into the water. "He's probably not going to come out again," Monkey said. "This is difficult," said Pigsy. "What are we going to do?" "Let's go and see the master," said Monkey. They told Tripitaka, who started crying loudly. "We will never get across," he said sadly. "Don't worry," Monkey said. "It is true that we cannot get across yet. That creature is a terrible problem, but he is not going to stop us." "What are we going to do?" asked Pigsy. "Pigsy," said Monkey, "stay here with the master while I go to the Southern Ocean to find the goddess Kuan Yin. This search for the scriptures was her idea, and she must help us now." "You had better go now," said Tripitaka, "and get back here quickly." Leaping through the clouds, Monkey reached the Southern Ocean in no time at all. He found the goddess with the Dragon King's daughter. "Why are you not looking after your master?" she asked at once. "When we came to the River of Sands," said Monkey, "we found a creature that we cannot destroy. He is a very good fighter. My friend Pigsy tried hard to beat him, but he was not successful. This is why I have come to you." "Monkey, do you ever listen? It is the same story again and again. Why did you not say that you are with the priest of Tung?" "I suppose we were too busy trying to catch him," said Monkey. "I put him there. I intended him to help the master and his pilgrims," said Kuan Yin. "You did not tell him that you were from China and looking for the scriptures, did you? That was your mistake. He is there to help you, you fool." "He's sitting at the bottom of the river and he is not happy," said Monkey. "How can I make him come out and help us? And how is Tripitaka going to get across the river?" Kuan Yin gave a red water bottle to her follower Hui Yen. She told him, "Go with Monkey to the river and shout 'Sandy!' The creature will come out at once. Take him to the master. Then put this red water bottle in the middle of the 9 heads that he wears around his neck. A ship will be sent from the gods. It will carry Tripitaka across the River of Sands." Hui Yen went to the river and called, "Sandy! Sandy! Come out and meet the master and his pilgrims. They are looking for the scriptures, and they have been here for a long time." The creature came up at once. He bowed politely and asked, "Where are the pilgrims?" "They're sitting over there, on the eastern side," replied Hui Yen. "Well," said Sandy, looking at Pigsy, "that dirty creature never said a word about scriptures, and I fought with him for 2 whole days." Then, seeing Monkey, he cried, "Him too! I'm not going near them." "The first is Pigsy," said Hui Yen, "and the second is Monkey. They are both Tripitaka's followers, and both were made priests by Kuan Yin. You have nothing to fear. I myself will introduce you to the master." Sandy came out of the river, tidied himself, and went down on his knees in front of Tripitaka. He said, "I did not recognize you, master, so forgive me for being so impolite."
"You rude creature," said Pigsy. "Why did you want to fight with us, instead of joining us from the beginning?"
"Brother," laughed Monkey, "don't be angry with him, because it is all our fault. We never told him that we are going to get the scriptures." "Do you really want to be a priest in our religion?" asked Tripitaka. Sandy said that he did, so Monkey was asked to shave Sandy's head. Monkey took a knife, and soon Sandy had no hair left on his head. Sandy bowed many times in front of Tripitaka, but only once in front of Monkey and Pigsy. Tripitaka liked Sandy's new appearance, and he was very pleased with his new follower. You'd better be quick and start your boat building, said Wei Yen. Taking the heads from his neck, Sandy laid them at the edge of the water in the shape of a magic square. He put Kuan Yin's water bottle in the middle. At once the heads and the bottle became a ship sent by the gods. Tripitaka came down to the water and walked onto the holy ship. Pigsy supported him on the left, Sandy on the right. Monkey behind him held on to the white horse, which followed as well as it could. They soon arrived perfectly safe. Chapter 4. A Dead King and a Competition. Then Manjusri said a spell. The magician returned to his tiger shape, and the god rode him away over the clouds. Tripitaka sat in the great hall of the wood temple, reciting the true scriptures. It was midnight, and he was tired. Soon he lay across his reading desk and slept. Although his eyes were closed, he seemed to know what was happening. He heard a voice outside the hall, whispering, "Master." Tripitaka lifted his head. In his dream, he saw a man who was wet from head to foot. When he looked more closely, he saw that the man was a king. The king told Tripitaka his story. 5 years ago, the rain stopped falling, the grass stopped growing, and all my people were dying of hunger. I prayed to the gods, but still the rivers were empty. But then a magician came, who could call the wind and the rain. I asked him to pray for rain, and he did. The rain came pouring down. For the next 2 years, I was very kind to this magician. Then in spring, when the two of us were walking by the great water hole in my palace, I suddenly saw a white light, and he pushed me into the hole. He covered the top of it, and then made a tree grow over it. Pity me. I have been dead for 3 years, and nobody knows. Tripitaka was white with fear, but at last he said, "Why did nobody look for you?" "Ah, with his great power, the magician transformed himself into a man who looked like me. Now he is the king of my people. But the night spirit blew me to you, and gave me hope with talk of a great monkey king who can kill demons with his cudgel. But everybody in your country thinks that the magician is you. My follower would be attacked if he tried to help," said Tripitaka. "I have a son, the prince, who spends most of his time in the Palace of Golden Bells. He is not allowed to see his mother, the queen, because she might say something. He knows nothing about his true father, except that I had this piece of white jade. But how can a poor priest like me get to the Palace of Golden Bells? Tomorrow my son will hunt with 3,000 followers, and when you give him the jade, he will know what to do. But now I must tell my queen everything in a dream." As he turned to go, the dead king hit his head on the floor, and Tripitaka woke up. "Followers!" he called. "Where are my followers?" "Now what?" said Pigsy. "I was happier with my old life, although the food was bad. Now I am woken up in the middle of the night to look after a priest." "I had a strange dream," said Tripitaka uncertainly. Monkey then came in and said, "Master, your dreams come from your waking thoughts because you worry all the time. I think only of seeing Buddha in the west, and no dream comes near me." But Tripitaka made Monkey listen to the dead king's story. "Say no more," said Monkey. "This is work for me." "The king left this," said Tripitaka, remembering, and he gave Monkey the piece of jade. Dear monkey. He pulled a hair from his tail, blew on it, and said a magic spell. When a beautiful small box appeared, he put the piece of jade in it. In the early morning, he told Tripitaka, read the scriptures in the great hall. I shall transform myself into a little priest, 5 centimeters high, and I shall jump into the box with the jade. When the prince opens the box, I shall jump out, show him the jade, and tell him the dream. Both the follower and his teacher were too excited to sleep that night. At last, the first light of morning came in the east. After giving whispered orders to Pigsy and Sandy to wait quietly for him, Monkey leapt into the air and flew. At once, his red eyes found a walled city to the west. The sadness of its people hung in clouds over the city. But as Monkey was watching this sad sight, the gates opened and the huntsman came out. It was clear from his fine clothes which huntsman was the prince. "Let me play a trick on him," said Monkey to himself. Dear Monkey. Coming down from his cloud, he transformed himself into a small woodland animal and ran in front of the prince's horse. The prince chased it, and the huntsman followed the prince. Soon, Monkey had led all of them to the wood temple. "Of course I have known of this place," said the prince, "although I have never visited it. I will go in." As the prince and his followers went into the great hall, everybody welcomed him and bowed, except Tripitaka. The angry prince told his followers to take the priest and tie him up. But Monkey, now 5 centimeters high and in the box, told the gods to protect Tripitaka, so the huntsman could not touch him. "What magic are you using?" asked the prince. "To protect yourself?" "I have no magic," replied Tripitaka. "I am only a priest from China, on the way to India to fetch the scriptures. But in this box there is someone who knows something very important." As he spoke, Tripitaka opened the box, and out leapt a very small monkey. The prince laughed and said, "What can that little creature know?" But Monkey, to the great surprise of everybody, used his magic to return to his full size. "Prince," he said, "please listen to me. 5 years ago, your country had no food because no rain fell. But then a magician came, and he brought rain. Is this true?" "Yes, yes, yes. Go on." "And what happened to the magician?" 3 years ago, when he and my father were walking in the garden, a magic wind blew a piece of jade out of the king's hand, and the magician went back to his mountains with it. But the king, my father, still misses the magician, and he has locked the garden." Monkey laughed, but he asked the huntsman to move away so he could speak privately to the prince. "Sir, it was your father who disappeared. The man in the palace is the magician who brought rain." "That is not true," said the prince. "Here is the piece of jade," said Monkey. "You stole the jade!" shouted the prince to the priest. "Take him away!" Tripitaka shouted fearfully to Monkey, "Oh, Monkey, you fool! What have you done?" "Wait!" cried Monkey. "I am the Monkey King and a follower of Tripitaka. Last night, in this temple, your father came to my master in a dream. He told him that the magician had pushed him into a great water hole in the palace and changed into a man who looked like him. He could then pretend to be the king. I changed into a hunted animal to lead you here because I wanted to tell you this. Will you believe my story or not?" The young prince did not know what to believe. Ride home, suggested Monkey. Take this piece of jade with you, and ask your mother, the Queen, if the present king is her husband. The young prince agreed and went back to the palace. He found his mother, the Queen, still worried about a dream she had had the night before. "Mother," said the prince, "forgive my words before I speak them. Compare your life with my father in the last 3 years, with the years before that, and tell me if his love is as warm today." In answer, the Queen recited, "3 years ago, something warm and kind. These last 3 years has been as cold as ice." The prince told his mother everything that he had heard that day. Then he showed her the piece of jade. "Oh, my son," said the Queen, "when you came I was crying because of a dream I had last night. I dreamt I saw your father. His head was under water and he was dead. But his soul had visited a priest of dung and asked him to destroy the magician. He also asked him to save his own body from where it had been thrown. Go quickly and ask that priest to help us." The young prince ran out, jumped on his horse, rode back to the wood temple, and asked the pilgrims to find his father. So the next night, Monkey and Pigsy were at the gates of the locked flower garden. But Monkey had told Pigsy that there was gold at the bottom of the waterhole. He said nothing about the dead king. Pigsy brought his fork down on the lock of the gates and broke it. Inside the garden, Monkey could not stop himself jumping and shouting happily. "Brother," said Pigsy, "you will ruin us, making all that noise." "Why are you trying to make me nervous?" said Monkey. They found the tree that the magician had planted on top of the hole. "Now, Pigsy, the gold is hidden under this tree," said Monkey. At once, the fool Pigsy hit the tree with his fork until it fell down. Then he used his nose to dig under it until, about 1 meter down, he found a big stone. "Brother," he cried, "this is luck! The gold will be under this!" Pigsy used his nose again and lifted the big stone. Below it, something was shining. "That is the gold!" cried Pigsy. But looking closer, they saw it was the light of the stars and the moon in the water. Monkey made his cudgel grow until it was 10 meters long, and Pigsy climbed down it. When he was in the water, he began to swim. Monkey called down to him, "The gold is at the bottom!" So Pigsy dived down, and opening his eyes again, saw a door with a sign on it that said, "The palace at the bottom of the waterhole." Pigsy went in, and a servant called out, "Great King, something awful has happened. A priest with a long nose has come in." The Dragon King of the waterhole was not surprised. "That must be Pigsy," he explained. "He has come with the Monkey King to find the dishonest magician. Please, come in and sit down," he called to Pigsy. Pigsy, happy and wet, sat in the best seat and asked, "Where is the gold?" "I'm sorry," said the Dragon King, "but I live down here in this hole and never see the sky above. Where would I get gold from?" "Oh, please," said Pigsy, "I know it is here somewhere, so you had better bring it out." "I have one thing that is of value. You can look," said the Dragon King. He led Pigsy to the body of the dead king. Pigsy went back up to Monkey. Monkey told him that the body was better than gold, so Pigsy dived back down again and brought the body up. Monkey looked closely at the body, which had been dead for 3 years. He asked Pigsy, "After 3 years, how can it still look so fresh?"
"The Dragon King used a magic stone to keep it like that,"
Pigsy answered. "That was a bit of luck," said Monkey, "but we must still get his enemy and make him pay for this terrible murder, and we will be thanked for our good work. Quickly, Pigsy, carry the king away."
"Where to?"
asked Pigsy. "To the temple," said Monkey, "to show him to Tripitaka."
"What an idea," Pigsy complained to himself. "I was tricked into doing this job. I do not want to carry this dead body."
"Hurry, Pigsy," said Monkey impatiently.
"I am not going to carry it," said Pigsy.
"If you do not want to be beaten, you will carry it away now," said Monkey. Pigsy feared the cudgel, so he lifted up the dead body and put it on his back.
"This monkey," he said to himself, "has played a dirty trick on me, but he will be sorry. When we get back to the temple, I will tell Tripitaka that Monkey can bring the dead to life. Monkey will say that he cannot, and I will tell Tripitaka to recite the spell. Monkey's head will hurt, but I will not be happy until his brains shoot out of his head."
They took the body back to the temple and showed it to Tripitaka. He told Monkey to bring it back to life. "Only Yama, King of Death, can do that," said Monkey.
"Don't believe him," cried Pigsy. "Just tighten that cap on his head."
Poor Monkey. He was soon holding his head in great pain as Tripitaka recited the spell. The cap became tighter and tighter. "But Master," said Monkey, "what will happen if I fail?" "If someone puts a good breath into him, he will be himself again, even after 3 years under water," said Tripitaka. Pigsy at once offered his breath, but Tripitaka knew that it was not pure. Pigsy had eaten the bodies of humans. So he asked for Monkey, whose food had been only apples and food from the forest. Monkey blew hard into the king's mouth, and his soul returned. Then they all went back to the city to find the magician who had taken the appearance of the king. When they were led to him, they refused to bow.
"And who are you?"
asked the false king, surprised. "My master," said Monkey, "is called Tripitaka, and he is like a younger brother to the Emperor of China. I am his main follower." Then he told the false king about Pigsy and Sandy, but he introduced the true king as a temple servant. The false king wanted to know more about this temple servant. He looked at the true king, who was afraid of him, but Monkey whispered, "It's all right. I will speak for you." Dear Monkey. He stepped forwards and cried to the magician in a loud, clear voice, "O king, this old man has had some hard times in his life. 5 years ago, disaster came to his family when heaven sent no rain and people died because there was no water. Then from the mountains came a magician who helped the people. But he then destroyed this man's life. He pushed him into a great water hole in the palace and became a false king of the people. But I have returned life to the dead man and he should be king again, not this magician." The magician felt fear deep in his heart. Taking a sword from a soldier, he jumped on a cloud and disappeared. Both Sandy and Pigsy were very angry.
"Now we will never be able to find him," they shouted.
Dear Monkey, telling Pigsy and Sandy to take good care of the prince, the king, his ministers, the queen and Tripitaka, he suddenly leapt into the clouds. Looking down, he saw the magician running to the northeast. He shouted, "Where do you think you are going? Monkey has come!"
"Keep out of my way!"
shouted the magician. Monkey fought a terrible fight with his cudgel against the magician and his sword. But suddenly the magician escaped back to the city. He transformed himself into someone who looked like Tripitaka. Monkey followed him, but did not dare use his cudgel. "Which is the real Tripitaka?" he shouted to Pigsy and Sandy.
"We do not know,"
they answered.
"We have no idea."
"Master, recite your spell," called Monkey. The real Tripitaka at once recited. Pigsy lifted up his fork as the magician flew up into the air. Dear Pigsy, he chased the magician with Sandy and Monkey close behind him. What a fight there was then, with 3 wild priests hitting and kicking at one terrible, ugly creature again and again. In the end, Monkey leapt above the creature, and he was going to cut him in half with his cudgel when a voice said, "Monkey, stop the fight." It was the god Manjusri. He had come down from heaven with a magic mirror which showed demons in their true form. "But I do not understand," said Monkey. "In this mirror, the magician is a tiger." "Yes," said Manjusri. "As a magician, he was acting under Buddha's orders." "What?" cried Monkey. "The magician is protected by Buddha. How can that be?" "Let me explain," said Manjusri. "In the beginning, the true king pleased Buddha so much that he sent me to fetch him to the western heaven. But I said something to the king that offended him. He told his soldiers to throw me into the river. Then Buddha sent this magician to throw the king into the waterhole for 3 years. But now, with your help, he has been forgiven." "Yes, but the people of the city?" asked Monkey. "Nothing has happened to them. During these 3 years, rain has fallen and there has been peace." "And the queen, who has slept with him as his wife?" "He has not been a husband to her," was the answer. "He is not a whole man." "Then take him away," said Monkey. "He can thank you for saving him." Manjusri said a spell. The magician returned to his tiger shape, and the god rode him away over the clouds. As the pilgrims travelled further on their journey to the west, they heard a noise that sounded like 1,000 voices. Dear Monkey, he leapt high into the clouds, looked down, and at a little distance he saw a hill outside a city. There a great crowd of Buddhist priests were carrying bricks and wood for building. They were hot and tired and crying out to the God of power to give them strength. "They're going to build a temple," thought Monkey. But suddenly the gates of the city opened, and 2 Taoist priests came out. Monkey saw at once that the Buddhists were afraid of them. He thought, "This must be the city I have heard about. The religion of Buddha has been destroyed here." Monkey transformed himself into a Taoist magician, walked towards the two young Taoist priests, and bowed low. "Can a poor Taoist find food in this city?" "Oh, yes," said the priests. "Even the king is pleased to give food to Taoists. 20 years ago, there was not enough food in this place, and it was saved by 3 Taoist immortals who came out of the sky. They can bring wind or rain or turn stones into gold."
"Your king is lucky to have these immortals here. I would like to meet him."
"That is no problem," said the priests. "But first, we must count those Buddhists and check that they are working well."
"But they are priests like us. We should not make them work."
"Well, when we had no food, the Buddhists prayed to Buddha with no success at all. We Taoists prayed to our gods, and we were successful. So they are not really priests, and we should really destroy their temples. But now they work for us as builders and cleaners."
"Then I cannot meet your masters," Monkey said, "because I am looking for an uncle who became a Buddhist priest."
"That is no problem," they replied. "Take our list and check while we wait here. See if your uncle is among our priests." As Monkey walked towards the priests with the list, they all went down on their knees in front of him. "Please don't harm us, Father," they said. "We have all worked hard, and we have never been ill or missed work." Monkey told them to get up. He said that they did not need to fear him. He was only looking for his uncle. Hearing this, they all crowded near him. "Which of us do you want?" they asked. Monkey laughed. "You are priests," he said. "Why do you work as servants instead of reading the scriptures?" "Oh, don't laugh at us," cried the priests. "Our king has chosen other masters, and we do what they tell us. The 3 immortals are very powerful and can perform a lot of magic. Now they are using magic to keep the king young. That is why he obeys them." "Why do you not run away?" asked Monkey. "There are pictures of us in every part of the country, and there are police everywhere. Many of us have taken our own lives, but the spirits tell us that one day a pilgrim will come, and with him is a follower called the Monkey King. He will use his great powers to right wrongs, and he will free us." Monkey went back to the 2 Taoist priests. They asked him if he had found his relative.
"They are all relatives of mine," replied Monkey. 200 on my father's side and 300 on my mother's. I would like you to free them."
"We cannot do that," said the priests. "1 or 2 of them can stop work if they are ill, but all of them? Impossible! You must be mad." "Really?" said Monkey, and taking his cudgel, he killed them where they stood. The Buddhists came running. "Oh, what have you done?" they said. "The people will say that we killed the priests. You must come to the king at once and explain that you are responsible." "I am not what you think I am," said Monkey. "I am the one who has come to free you." "But you are a murderer," said the Buddhist priests. "The spirits described the one who will free us. He has a flat head, bright red eyes, a hairy face, and no chin." Monkey transformed himself back from a Taoist priest into himself, and the Buddhists bowed in front of him. "Now, go away from here," cried Monkey. "But first, I shall give you some protecting magic." Dear Monkey. He pulled out a handful of his hairs, bit them into pieces, and gave a small piece to each of the Buddhists. "Put this behind your ear. If you are in any danger, press your ear and call out, 'Monkey King!' I will come at once to help you, even if I am thousands of kilometers away." Some of the braver priests tested the hairs and called out, "Monkey King!" At once, a thunder god with a great cudgel appeared. "If you say 'quiet,' he will disappear," Monkey told them. And at the word "quiet," he disappeared. "Don't go far from this place, and there will be news for you soon," Monkey called as the priests departed. He left to tell Tripitaka what had happened. As the pilgrims entered the city, some people were afraid of them. But an old Buddhist priest recognized Monkey and shouted, "I have dreamt of you, Monkey King. Thanks to you, we are not ghosts. We are living men." That night, Monkey's head was so full of plans for the next day that he could not sleep. He got up, looked down into the street, and saw that the Taoists were all celebrating in the temple. They were led by the three immortals. At once, Monkey went to find Pigsy and Sandy. "Come and have some fun," he whispered in Sandy's ear.
"Who wants fun in the middle of the night?"
said Sandy sleepily. "The Taoist temple has plenty of food in it," said Monkey. "Bread, cake, fruit, sweets." Pigsy woke up at the sound of a list of food.
"Brother, I am coming too," he cried.
When they arrived at the temple, Pigsy could not wait.
"They're all still praying," he complained.
"I will soon stop that," said Monkey, and he blew hard. A great wind passed through the temple, blowing everything onto the ground and putting all the lights out. Frightened in the dark, all the Taoists ran away. The three pilgrims went inside, and the three of them finished all the food. But a little Taoist remembered that he had left his handbell in the temple and went back for it. He opened the door and saw that all the food was gone. He ran away to fetch the three immortals. When they came, one of them thought that their gods had eaten the food. "Let's pray to them," the immortals said, "for long life for the king." Then Monkey jumped out and called to them. "How could you be such fools?" he said. "We are not gods. We are priests from China. We have eaten all your food, and your king will have to go somewhere else for a long life." The Taoist immortals attacked the pilgrims, but Monkey took Sandy in one hand and Pigsy in the other and leapt onto a cloud with them. In no time, they were back in their beds in the hotel where they were staying with Tripitaka. Next day, the king was very angry when he heard that 3 Buddhist pilgrims wanted to see him. But one of his ministers stepped forward.
"The country of Tung is 50,000 kilometers away," he said. "If they really come from there, they must have magic powers. Let's hear them."
So the king allowed the pilgrims to come in. But before they could speak, 3 important Taoists came in and made a report to the king. "Yesterday," they said, "these 3 killed 2 of our followers and helped 500 Buddhist priests to escape. That night, they went into our temple and ate all the food." The angry king ordered the immediate death of the 3 pilgrims. But before anyone could do anything about the order, some men arrived asking urgently for rain. The king thought about the pilgrims' magic powers.
"There will be a rain-making competition between you and the immortals," he said to the pilgrims. "If you win, you will go free. If you lose, you will die."
A tower was quickly built, and the king, the pilgrims, and the immortals went outside. "You must say what you are going to pray for," said Monkey to an immortal. "How else will we know if you are successful?" When the king heard Monkey's words, he said,
"This little priest is a sensible monkey." "There's no need to tell you," said the immortal. "The king knows what I am going to do."
"That is not what I mean. We must each have our program. If we do not, we will get confused."
"Yes, fine. I shall cry out 4 times, said the immortal. "At the first cry, wind will come. At the second, clouds will appear in the sky. At the third, you will hear thunder. At the fourth, rain will fall. But I shall cry out once more, and the rain will stop."
"Please begin," said Monkey. "This will be very entertaining for us." The tower was 10 meters high. On each side there were the 28 flags of the great house of the moon. There was a long table with burners on it, which gave a sweet-smelling smoke. There was a metal plate with the name of the thunder spirit written on it next to each burner. At the foot of the table there were 5 great bowls of clear water with flowers in them. Behind the tower were some Taoists writing down religious teachings. The immortal went to the tower and climbed to the top. With his sword in his hand, he recited spells, and a strong wind was heard and felt in the air above.
"That is bad," whispered Pigsy. "He is winning."
"Quiet, brother," whispered Monkey, "and leave it to me." Dear Monkey, he leapt into the air and cried, "Who is in charge of the wind?" At once the old woman of the wind appeared. "I am protecting Tripitaka on his way to India," said Monkey. "We are having a rain-making competition with the immortals here. Why are you helping them instead of us? Stop that wind!" cried Monkey. And immediately the wind stopped. The immortal now hit the tower hard, and the sky filled with clouds. "Who is in charge of the clouds?" cried Monkey, and the cloud boy appeared in front of him. "Stop the clouds!" he commanded, and again the sky became clear. The immortal loosened his hair, and then knocked again on the tower. The thunder god and the mother of lightning appeared in the sky, but they bowed towards Monkey. "The Jade Emperor in heaven," they said, "ordered us to make a storm." "You are allowed to do that," said Monkey, "but not yet." As there was no thunder and no lightning, the immortal was confused as well as angry. "Listen well," said Monkey up in the sky. "Here are my orders. When I point my cudgel upwards once, you will give me wind. Twice, and you will give me clouds. 3 times, thunder and lightning. And 4 times, rain. And when I point it a 5th time, you will stop the storm." The immortal sadly left the tower and went to speak to the king. "I have been watching," said the king. "You have not produced either wind or rain. What is wrong?"
"The rain dragons are not at home today," said the immortal.
"Don't believe him," cried Monkey. "They are all at home. That immortal has no real power over them. We, the followers of Buddha, will soon put them to work. You will see."
"Go to the tower," said the king to Monkey. "I will wait here and see if there is any rain."
"I need your help too," said Monkey to Tripitaka. "Go quietly to the tower and start reciting your scriptures." "My dear friend," said Tripitaka, "I do not know anything about making rain."
"Don't let him pull you into this," whispered Pigsy to Tripitaka. "He will blame you if no rain comes."
"It is true that you do not know how to make rain," said Monkey to Tripitaka. "But you know how to recite the scriptures. If you do that, I will do the rest." Tripitaka went up the tower, sat down, and began silently reciting. Then Monkey took his cudgel from behind his ear and made it bigger until it was nearly 1 meter long. He pointed it towards the sky. The old woman of the wind brought out her bag, and when she opened it, a great wind rushed out of it. It blew through the city, lifting stones and rocks high into the air. Monkey pointed again, and a black cloud covered the sky, so the people of the city could not even see their palace. He pointed again, and loud thunder shook the earth. When he pointed a 4th time, rain fell down until it seemed that the yellow river had fallen out of the sky. In seconds, the whole city was under water. The people of the city were filled with terror, and they all began saying their prayers. The rain fell from early morning until midday.
"Enough!" cried the king. "Stop the rain, or nothing will grow this year."
Monkey at once pointed a 5th time with his cudgel, and the storm stopped. There was not even a cloud in the sky.